When we started this 5 years ago, the most important part for us was, how do we advance women in society? How do we advocate for women? I started this with my cousin, and the two of us, like, our daughters are the thread through constantly. I knew I was a troublemaker for like my whole life, honestly. No, I truly, the honor of wearing the badge troublemaker means so much to me. Because I do believe, and I so strongly believe about being a troublemaker for good. But for me, I'm going to joke right now, like, look, I'm at the stage in my life that I can say the word fuck. I can actually do things that I never would have been comfortable with doing it early in my career. And I can be bold and I can be courageous. But the most important thing at the end of the day is I get to be myself. And I get to run and build this business that is truly creating systemic change, that is going to leave a legacy for this next generation. And that's going to create equity in the bathroom space. Like, it's crazy. And so it is being disruptive. It is being a troublemaker, but I truly do. I wear this badge with so much honor. I am proud to be this. It's something that I think about when my former self is like being in middle school and high school. Like I was the outspoken kid. Some of it was my ADHD that was never diagnosed as a kid. And so I was always the kid, like, the grades written, but then always my comments were like, she's a little disruptive. Oh, she's a little bit talks too much. Those have actually been, I now call them, those are my strengths. I had to grow into them. And now those strengths have become part of my skills of being a troublemaker. They've gotten me now into what we're building over these last 5 years, is figuring out moments of being bold, walking into rooms where never in my life did I ever think I would ever be, but also being bold enough, as one example, walking directly up to Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of JP Morgan Chase Global, and asking him if he carries toilet paper around with him. There are only 100 people in this cocktail party. And we got to be there. He was meeting with 30 founders in the Boston area. And then there were like a bunch of other bankers and I mean, everyone's asking these like crazy questions. And then after finally, like, it's done, he had done his speech, I grabbed Thyme and I was like, let's go. And we beelined right over to him and we said, hey, listen, have you ever carried toilet paper around with you? And I mean, he looked at us like we had two heads. And I said, I know it's a totally strange question, but women have been carrying period products around with them. Your team and your employees deserve this. And that just set us in motion with him, which was really like unbelievable. Of course, he's like, I've got a team. I've got a daughter, I've got a wife, I've got granddaughters, but like, I've got a team. We're like, great, just introduce us to your team. And the shock on his face, also the smile on his face, because it opened up the door and allowed us to have a conversation about period products where everyone else is asking about like the war and the crypto and this and that. And that is probably the biggest piece, is building into that confidence of being a troublemaker and, being able to walk into the rooms and it's okay. I'm there for a reason. And that's the piece too, that I think is exciting in this part of my career, is I don't have that imposter syndrome. I'm there for a reason. And I sometimes do have to remind myself, but I am there for a reason, and always just continue to show up in that light. And so, yes, I will wear my badge of being a troublemaker until I retire, and actually even post being retired, I will continue to wear that along with me.